Bror Fredrik coming at you with another video. Just a few days ago, I dropped a video explaining how the cost of living is going up by 200 and in some cases 300% here in Las Vegas in about 3 years, which is absolutely outrageous. But that got a comment on one of the videos that said, but hey, Bror Fredrik, why are you still in Vegas if things are so bad? I never said they were so bad. I just said you got to get your money right if you want to live in Las Vegas. But it did prompt this video, which is some of the reasons I love living in Las Vegas. And we'll discuss that right after this. And we're back. If you want to check out the other video about the absolute crazy cost of living increases here in Las Vegas, I'll drop a card. Go check that out after this video. But back to the matter at hand. Why does Bror Fredrik love living in Las Vegas? There's a few reasons. There's probably too many to list. But the top few that I've come up with are as follows. In the number one slot, without any question whatsoever, is the people watching. The people watching. Yes, you heard right. I am a people watcher. But more than that, I am a student of the human condition, of human nature, of philosophy, and I have found no other place in this country that has what Las Vegas has in terms of people watching and studying people. It's not just looking at people. And I'll tell you what, even better than New York. And I was born, raised, and lived in New York. And the thing is, in New York, if you look too hard or too close or too long at people, you're basically asking for a fight. Here, it doesn't matter. You can just watch people. And me being a student of people, there is so much to see here. I've learned so much. Some of the things, some of the prophetic statements I make, some of the ideas and the concepts and the learning that I've been putting forth on some of the live streams has come from the study of people. Worldwide, of course, but here in Las Vegas as well, because like I said, Las Vegas is an absolute petri dish of the human condition. And why is that, you might ask? Because Las Vegas exposes everything. It has a way of exposing everything about people. It exposes the highs, it exposes the lows, it exposes the trauma, it exposes the triggers, it exposes the weaknesses, it exposes the strengths, it exposes the obsessions, it exposes good behavior, bad behavior, habit patterns, you name it. This town will expose people to their absolute core. You will see humans behaving in their rawest fashion here in Las Vegas, because Las Vegas is designed to cut through the bullshit and just get into the core of the being, whether it's negative or positive. Some people can't handle it, some people can handle it, but Las Vegas exposes everything about the human condition, and I sit back and watch it. It exposes how people interact. It exposes how people handle discipline. It exposes how people handle frustration. It exposes how people handle relationship issues. You can watch them interact. I've literally watched people get together in Las Vegas, and I've watched people get divorced right in front of me. It exposes every part of the human psyche and human nature that you can possibly imagine. You can witness it all. You can just sit at a table and watch, and you can see everything. What you can basically see what makes humans tick. And besides that, The people here in Las Vegas, the demographic, there is no specific demographic like in certain places. You see people here from all over the world, from all walks of life, from every race, from every ethnic background, and from every age. So cumulatively, by just me and you, people watching here, you get exposed to layers upon layers upon layers of the human condition. And besides all that, it's just plain fun. I mean, let's just admit it. You know, it's especially Fremont Street, it's a freak show. But here, you can just get to see some things that you probably never see anywhere else, because people are just still of the mindset that, you know, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, which is absolute nonsense. But, you know, it makes for good, it makes for good people watching. You get to see crazy, crazy shit, and you get to also see some sad shit, and you get to see some exciting stuff, and it just is what it is. But for me personally, like I said, being a student of the human condition, it is a petri dish of human behavior, and I love it, and I learn from it, and I pass it along to you guys. Okay, one of the next reasons I personally love living in Las Vegas is the shopping. Now, don't get it twisted. Oh, shopping, I can shop everywhere. Or you're thinking right away, you know, Louis Vuitton, MCM, Canelli, you know, all the high-end stores. Yes, high-end stores all over the place, and I love looking at them. You know, even if I can't purchase in some of them, I still enjoy looking at them, and they are everywhere here in Las Vegas. We all know that, and we have our shopping malls, and we have everything that every other major town has to offer. But what I will say that's different about Las Vegas is the variety of stores that are cumulatively here from all over the place. There's stores in this town that might be regional, that you might only see them in the southeast or the northwest, but they're here. There's stores that you might only find in the Midwest, but they're here. There's stores that are only indigenous to certain areas of the country, but they're here. Everyone wants a flagship store here. So in terms of shopping, it is kind of a one-stop shopping experience here in Las Vegas. But that's not the main reason I love the shopping here in Las Vegas. The main reason is the sheer amount of mom and pop type stores. For some reason, I've never seen the volume of mom and pop stores. Of course, outside of the strip or off the strip. There are some here, but off the strip, there are mom and pop shops galore. Granted, it's very hard to start a business here. It's problematic. There's fees. It's not the easiest thing to start a business here, like a brick and mortar. However, every variety of everything in terms of, when I say mom and pop, and I'm not saying, you know, mom and pop and the son's running it, but in a lot of cases there is, but smaller independent shops. Like if I want to go get some Ethiopian coffee beans, because that's just my thing that I'm feeling, I know about 2 or 3 authentic Ethiopian shops that I can go to, where there's one in particular that they actually roast their own beans in-house. Small mom and pop joint. If you're into, say, RC cars and planes, there's probably at least 10 independent shops here. If you're into scuba diving, even though we don't have an ocean over here, we got a lake, but there's probably 10 independent shops there. If you're into sneakers, there's probably 50 independent smaller shops here. Just the level of it, different cuisines, different items. You can go and buy authentic Chinese items, not just the food. You can go and buy authentic, various European stuff, British things, English things. There's a shop for everything. There's an Italian food shop that not only sells you the Italian food, but they have things from Italy in there. I mean, just the level of neighborhoods and diversity. People come here and they just want to stake their claim here in Las Vegas. They open up a shop. There is a Polish store here that sells homemade or imported Polish pickles. I mean, people think of the Strip as this 5 miles here, but it can take you 45 minutes to go from one side of the town to the other. It's a large, expansive town, so you might end up driving, but you will find just about everything. And I love that aspect because coming from New York, it's like the UN, you know, just rolled with everyone and enjoyed everyone's culture. If I feel like, you know, one day going and getting some Jamaican meat patties, I know where to find them here in Las Vegas. They might not be as good as the ones in New York, but, you know, it is what it is. If I feel like having some Colombian pupusas, I know a spot where I can go for that. I know 2 spots where I can go for that. Now I'm talking, I'm kind of oozing into restaurants too. And people will say, oh, Las Vegas has the best food and whatever. No, it really doesn't. I mean, I'll just admit it. It really does not. But it's the next best thing because there is a lot of it. But from an authentic level and from a price point level, it just can't compete. But on the plus side, at least it's all condensed here, even if, you know, I'd rate it like a C compared to going like a Jamaican meat patty. Here, I'd rate it a C. So the bottom line is, with the level of mom and pops and independent people here just putting up a shingle and attempting to do well in a business from all 4 corners of the planet. Is it more than 4 or is it just 4? I don't know where that expression came from. The variety of shopping here and the diversity of the kinds of shopping you can do here is just freaking amazing. I enjoy it. I mean, I just always find something. If I need a tailor for a specific clothing item, there's probably like 50 in town and they all specialize in something different. This guy will be more high end. This guy came from the Midwest, so he's more familiar with boots and such. I mean, you name it. You will find someone to service your needs or something to buy that you just can't see or you can't get other than frickin' Amazon. And quite frankly, I'm a big fan of at least attempting to shop local and opening my horizons a little bit. Sometimes it is cost prohibitive because, you know, brick and mortars, they got their overhead and whatnot. But just from a sheer standpoint of the diversity of the type of businesses, and I mean diversity in businesses and in people, it's just an amazing place to live because you have access to just about anything. I mean, I've seen literally 4, maybe 5, I keep saying 10, whatever, I don't know for a fact, but just shops where you can go in and play puzzles if you're into Dungeons and Dragons. I mean, there's just everything here. Not that I'm into that, but if you're into that, this is a place for you. But just everything. There's just everything. I wish, however, it was back like it was a few years ago where things were open. I mean, everything used to be 24 hours in this town, even the car dealerships. Now you're finding things, you know, running business hours and closing at 6 p.m. That's relatively new, and it's been enhanced since the shutdown. And well, not enhanced since the shutdown, but I wish it would get back to that. You used to be able to go to, like, say, an Ethiopian spot to go buy, you know, some fresh ground roasted coffee, you know, at 12 o'clock at night. Can't do that anymore, homeboy. You know, he's out of there by friggin' 5 and whatever. That's the only downside, but, you know, that's everywhere. But again, I love living in Las Vegas because of the shopping. The shopping here is freaking awesome, all the way from the Louis Vuittons to the Polish pickle shop. Yeah, 2 thumbs up. Okay, the last thing I'm gonna put out there in terms of things that I love about living in Las Vegas is something you'll probably love too, which is if you have any type of skill. Well, these roads are trash. That's one of the things I don't like living in Las Vegas. The roads here are trash. But I digress. So, one of the things is, like I just said, if you have a skill If you have a trade, if you have something you're good at, if you have a genius idea, if you have something of value that you can offer, this is the place to be. Because if you have, like I said, any type of skill, any type of advantage over the next person in your field or a completely new field, Las Vegas will welcome you with open arms and money. It is fairly easy if you have ambition, if you are customer centric, if you have a skill that is sort of lacking in this town, if you consider yourself above mediocrity, you will find a market for your skills or your product here in Las Vegas. If you can't do it here, I'd be hard pressed to tell you where you could, because of the amount of people here, because you could potentially service the industry here. And on top of that, believe it or not, behind the scenes, the service industry, and you'll notice it in the casinos too, is it sort of operates, and the employees operate on a, how would I say, very mediocre. Mediocrity is just rules the day here in Las Vegas. Do just enough to get by, and that's it. Not my job, man. Oops, just, there's a lot of half-assery here in Las Vegas. So if you're customer centric and you go out of your way and you can really show people that you are worth it, that you have something that they're not getting anywhere else, whether it's in customer service, whether it's a product, whether it's a skill set, you will do well here. Now, you still have to bust your ass. You still have to network per se. I mean, not network meetings. Those are kind of freaking goofy, waste of time. But, go out there and you still have to sell your product. You still have to let people know about you. So you still have to do marketing. It is the difference between what's considered the norm here, which is, when's my car going to be ready? Tomorrow. You go to there tomorrow, it's not ready. When's it going to be ready? In an hour, then it's 4 hours, then it's tomorrow. Just, this town is so mediocre. Mediocrity will drive you freaking nuts. But if you are above mediocrity, if you are above standards, if you have a work ethic that is above what is taking place here in Las Vegas, you will thrive. You will literally thrive. Now, I did say the cost of living is, getting a little bit outrageous here. So you will thrive if it's a profitable venture. If you're hoping to make it up on volume or sell to locals or focus on, doing X, Y, and Z for the, being a drone pilot for the real estate salespeople, no, you will not survive here. It has to be a little bigger, a little bolder, a little braver. But if you're just in a professional field, that might be different. If you're a doctor, if you're an IT guy, these places will hire. There's room for people with skill. If, how would I say, without insulting anyone, if you are just unskilled labor, per se, it's going to be tough, because $15 an hour is not going to cut it, and that's what unskilled labor makes here. But if you got a skill and you got confidence and you got a pair of balls or whatever, the female version is, you will do well. But you have to set yourself apart from everyone else. That way the town takes notice, and you have to have a plan. You have to have an idea, but you will prosper. This town will welcome you, because it's such a breath of fresh air to have people who actually keep their word and are genuinely skilled at what they do. So as far as the opportunity to explore business opportunities, like I said, all the mom and pop shops here, to explore your professional capabilities, to explore a business idea, to explore a business product. Trust me, this is the town you can do it, but make sure it's going to be profitable so that you can keep up with the pace of inflation. Don't hope to make it up on volume or anything like that, you know. But if you got something to offer, trust me, this town can be extraordinarily rewarding from a business perspective, from a prosperity perspective, or I wouldn't be here. So I want to thank you for driving up and down the Las Vegas Strip with me. If you got any questions about anything that I said or any questions about living here in Las Vegas, go ahead and drop them in the comments. And I'm going to invite you to like, share, subscribe, and hit that bell button to get notified when I drop a new video, which is at least 5 times a week between the videos and the lives and all the fun we have there. And if you'd like to support me, you know how to go about doing that, clicking on all those links down there. Don't forget to check me out on my own streaming platform. There's a link to it down there. Well, you'll find Bror Fredrik, raw and uncensored. And on that note, Bror Fredrik out.